Hello guys, welcome to this lesson. So in this video we are going to look at the linear factors and partial fractions. So the question is saying find the partial fraction decomposition of each of the following rational fractions. So we have question A and question B. So as for question A, we are having 7x minus 9 all over x plus, let me just say open bracket, x plus 1 close bracket, open bracket, x minus 3, then close bracket. Then as for question B, we are having 12x plus 11 all over x to the power 2 plus x minus 6. So as you can see, the denominator here, it is in form of a quadratic. Okay. So now before I answer the linear factors, or before I answer these questions, let me just bring you back to grade 12. So at grade 12, you have learned about expressing the fraction into a single fraction. Let's say, for example, if they give you a question like this one, express 5 over 1 minus x minus 3 over x minus 2 as a single fraction in its lowest term, 3 marks. So before I answer these questions, let me try to answer this one so that you understand. In this case, the first thing I'm just going to write 5 over 1 minus x, then minus 3 over x minus 2. Now, the first thing here, we need to find the common denominator. So the common denominator here, it is 1 minus x and x minus 2, right? So the common denominator here, it is 1 minus x. Now, to differentiate these two, I'm just going to introduce the brackets, whereby, open bracket, 1 minus x, then close bracket, and also this one, open bracket, x minus 2, then close bracket. Then from there now, 1 minus x into, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2. So in this case, it's more like I'm dividing these, okay? So this one is going in these. So in simpler ways, it is just more like these divided by this one. So you're going to find that this one and this one, they are going to cancel each other. Then from there now, we are going to remain with this one. So x minus 2 multiplied by 5. So 5 multiplied by, open bracket, x minus 2, then close. Similarly on this part here, x minus 2 into, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, close. So these, they are going to cancel each other, okay? Then from there now, I'm going to remain with this one, which is 1 minus x. Now 1 minus x multiplied by negative 3. So it is negative 3, open bracket, 1 minus x, then close bracket. Okay. Then from there now, 5 multiplied by x, I'm going to get 5x. Then 5 multiplied by negative 2, I'm going to get negative 10. Then Negative 3 multiplied by positive 1, I'm going to get negative 3. Then negative 3 multiplied by negative x, I'm going to get positive 3x. Then all over the denominators that we have, it is 1 minus x and also x minus 2. Now from there now, as you can see, 5x and 3x, these two are like terms, and also negative 10 minus 3, these two are like terms. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to correct these like terms. And remember, here we are not having an equal sign, which means the signs are just going to remain the same, or they're just going to remain constant. So this one is going to be 5x plus 3x minus 10 minus 3 all over the denominators, which is 1 minus x, and also here x minus 2, like this. So from there now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say 5x plus 3x. The answer is going to be 8x. Then negative 10 minus 3, the answer is going to be negative 13 all over 1 minus x. Then this one is x minus 2. Now, this one here, it is our final answer. Now, my aim here is to make you understand what I'm talking about. So as you can see, this one is similar to this one here, okay? So I hope you can see our answer. So this answer here, it is similar to this one, although the figures are different, but this one is similar to this one. So likewise, the way the question is saying, we need to find the partial fraction decomposition of each of the following rational fractions. Now, how are we going to find this one? So this one is more like the answer, okay? They have given you the answer. Now, they want you to come up with the question. To make you understand what I'm talking about, let me show you. It is more like they have given us this one, and they are asking us this question now. They have given us this one, which is 8x minus 13 all over, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, then close bracket. So they have given us this one. They have given us the answer. Now, they are just asking us to find this question, which is 5 over 1 minus x minus 3 over x minus 2. So now, in this case here, when you are finding when you are dealing with the partial fractions, specifically the linear factors, you need to find the values of denominators, which is this one, which is 5, and also this one, which is 3. So now, let's take this one and find now these values. Okay. So what I'm going to do, before I answer those questions, let's try to find these values. Of course, you know them, that this one is 5 and this one is negative 5. Now, let's just ignore about this one and imagine that we have been given this question to find this one here, which is our answer. So in most cases, when answering this question, we also we focus on the denominators, okay? So when answering this question, you focus on where? The first step, you need to focus on the denominators. So you need to ask yourself, how many denominators do I have here? So we only have 2 denominators, which is 1 minus x and also x minus 2. Sometimes you are going to find that you are going to have 3 denominators. Now in this case here, we are just having this one. So we can just consider it as 1. But treat them separately. So this one is separately to this one. Okay, so we're just having two denominators. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to write the same answer, which is 8 minus 13, all over, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, then open bracket, x minus 2. Okay, now since this one, it is our answer, what I'm going to do, like the way I was saying, you need to consider, the first step, you need to consider the what? The denominators that you are having. So in this case here, this one is 1 minus x, so this one is separate from x minus 2. So always when you're answering, you need to equate everything to a or over the denominators now that you have. So the first denominator that we are having here, it is 1 minus x. So the first thing I'm just going to say a over 1 minus x in this case. Okay? Yes. So it's 1 minus x in this case. Then from there now, we are done with this one. Let's come to this one. So since here we are having two denominators, I'm just going to say plus b over, now let's come to this one, which is x minus 2, likewise. Okay, so this one is our next one. Now let's say, for example, if you are having 3 denominators, let's say you have also another one, which means you are just going to say plus c over that denominator that you have. Now since here I'm just having 2 denominators, which is this one and this one, so I'm just going to end at b. If I'm having 3 denominators, which means I can just say plus c over that denominator that I'm having. If you are having 4 denominators, which means you can also add plus d, or 5, you can say plus e, then divide by that denominator that you have. Okay, so in this case here, let me just use substitution. So in this case, the denominators that you are having, that we are having here, it is 1 minus x and also x minus 2. So let me just write them here. X minus 2, we also have 1 minus x in this case. Okay. So now, how it is here, these denominators, of course, these are denominators, but since here I'm using substitution, so you need also to consider the denominators that you are having. Okay. So these, they are just going to multiply with everything here. Okay. They're just going to multiply with everything here. So it is more like 1 minus x, let me just say open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket, multiply by 8x minus 13, or over, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket. So you're going to find that these, they are going to cancel each other. These, they are just same with this one. So when you're multiplying the numbers, let's say, for example, you have something like 1 over 2 multiplied by 2. So you just go direct by saying 1 multiplied by 2, which is 2 over 2. But in this case here, we don't multiply 2 multiplied by 2. That's wrong. So even here, these, they are just multiplying with this one. Okay? These, they are just multiplying with this one. Now, since these are same to this one, which means they are going to cancel each other. This one and this one, they are going to cancel each other. Then therefore, we are going to remain with this one, which is 8x minus 13. Then is equal to, similarly to this part, I'm just going to say 1 minus x, of course, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, then close bracket. Multiply by this a here. So you are going to find that if I multiply these, multiply by a, 1 minus x will cancel with 1 minus x. 1 minus x will cancel with 1 minus x. Therefore, I'm just going to remain with this one, which is x minus 2 and a. So in this case, I'm just multiplying. So it is a, open bracket, then x minus 2, close bracket. Okay, then here I'm having plus. So plus. Similarly to this one, I'm just going to say, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket, multiplied by b. So you are going to find that x minus 2 and x minus 2, they are going to cancel each other. These, they are going to cancel each other. Therefore, I'm just going to remain with this one, which is 1 minus x and also b. So I'm remaining with b, then open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket. Okay? I hope from there we are together. Yes. So what I'm going to do here, since these two are separately, they are separated by a plus. So I'm just going to write this one, which is 8x minus 13, and equate it to a, open bracket, x minus 2, close bracket. Okay? And also, I'm just going to write the same one and also equate to this one, which is b, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket. So here we are having b, open bracket, 1 minus x, then close bracket. Now in this case here, our aim is to find the values of a and b. Our aim is to find the values of a and b. Now, how are we going to find these values? Let's use these linears. So we are having the first linear, which is 1 minus x, and also x minus 2. Now, 1 minus x is at a, which means let's try to find the value of this x here, and also we find the value of x of this x at b. So the first one, it is 1 minus x. Then this one is going to be equal to 0. Then or we can just say this one, which is x minus 2 is equal to 0. So the value here is going to be 1. Let me just say negative x is equal to negative 1. So since here we are finding the value of x, which means here we can divide by negative 1, even here by negative 1. Then negative and negative, they are going to cancel each other. So the value of x here is going to be negative 1 into negative 1. The answer is going to be positive 1. Okay? So this one is positive 1 for x. Then let's come to this one. When 2 crosses an equal sign, it is going to be a positive. Now remember, this linear equation, it is on this part here, which is the linear of b. Okay? So which means for us to find the value of b, where there is x, we are going to put 2. Okay? Then the next one, if we want to find the value of a, since this linear here, which is x minus 1, let me say 1 minus x, it is at a, which means where there is x, we are going to put 1 if we want to find the value of a. So let's find the values. So let me start with a. So we have 8. Then 8, we have 8x here. So which means where there is x, I'm just going to put 1. Then close, minus 13. Then is equal to a. Then open bracket. So where there is x here, I'm just going to put 1 minus 2. Then close. So from there now, 8 multiplied by 1, the answer is 8 minus 13 is equal to. Then from there now, a, let me just say 1 minus 2. The answer is going to be -1. Okay, like this. Then from there now, a multiplied by -1, it is -a. So in this case here, 8 minus 13, the answer is going to be -5, is equal to -a. Okay? Now since here I'm looking for a, not -a, which means I'm just going to divide this one by -1, even this one by -1. So that negative and negative, they are going to cancel each other. Even here, negative and negative, they are going to cancel each other. So the value of a here is going to be 5. Okay? So as for a, we are done. Let's come to b. So as for b, since x is equal to 2, so which means where there is x, I'm going to put 2. So it is 8, then open bracket, 2, close bracket, minus 13 is equal to b. Then we can just say open bracket, 1 minus the value of x here, it is 2, then close bracket. So 8 multiplied by 2, I'm just going to get 16 minus 13. Okay? Yes, is equal to 1 minus 2. The answer is going to be -1. Then from there now, 16 minus 13, the answer is going to be 3, is equal to b multiplied by -1, the answer is going to be -b. So from there now, I'm looking for b, not -b, which means I'm just going to divide this one by -1, even this one by -1. So negative and negative, they are going to cancel each other. So the value of b here is going to be -1 into 3. The answer is going to be -3. So which means the value of b here, it is -3. Now let's write so our final answer is going to be 8x minus 13 over, open bracket, 1 minus x, close bracket, open bracket, x minus 2 is equal to. So now if you remember very well here we were having a, then here we were having b. Now since the value of a and the value of b we have already found, so which means what I'm going to do here, where there is a, I'm just going to put 5, and where there is b, I'm just going to put -3. So in this case here, as you can see, the question was saying express 5 over 1 minus x minus 3 over x minus 2 as a single fraction in its simplest terms. So this one was our question. Then during our calculations, the answer was this one. Now, when you're dealing with partial fractions, they are just going to give you the answer in short, okay? They are just going to give you the answer like this one. Then you find what? The question. So let's imagine we don't know this one. Then they have given us the answer. We can find the question in this form, but our question is going to be the answer. So in this case, this one is similar to this one, as you can see. So let's try to answer the questions now. So I think as for number 1, it is similar to the question I am from answering. So let's just try to answer this one, because this one is different from this one, although this one is same as this one. But let me just show you how to go about this one. Since here we are having the quadratic as a denominator. Okay? So feel free to answer this one and send the answers on the comment section or on the line that I'm going to display on the screen on my WhatsApp. So here, the first step, we need to make sure that the denominator looks like the linear. Okay? We need to make sure that the denominator looks like the linear. Now, how are we going to make this quadratic looks like the linear? We can make this one looks like a linear when we use factorization. So in this case here, let's do the factorization of this one. So in this case here, it is x to the power 2 plus x minus 1. Now, let's try to find the products, or let me just say the product, sum and factors. So the product here, it is negative 6 multiplied by 1, which is the value of a. Then the answer is going to be negative 6. Then the sum here, it is just 1. Okay? Now, on the factors here, if you have challenges in finding the factors, just find the numbers that can go into negative 6 without leaving a remainder. So we have 1 and also 2, 3, and the last one it is 6. So in this case here, they can be just positive or negative integers, okay? Positive or negative. So in this case here, we need to think of the numbers that we are going to multiply. We are going to think of two numbers that we are going to multiply so that we get negative 6, and when we add them, we get positive 1. So let's say, for example, if you choose positive 2 and positive 3, you're not going to get negative 6. So if I put negative on 2 here, I'm just going to find that negative 2 multiplied by positive 3, the answer is going to be negative 6. Then when I add them, the answer is going to be positive 1. So the factors here, it is negative 2 and positive 3. So negative 2 and positive 3. Okay. So the next step, let me just highlight this one. So we have negative 2x plus 3x minus 6. Then from there now, what is common in these two? Of course, you need to group them into 2. So once you group them into 2, then you factorize them. So what is common here? It is x, then open bracket, x into 2x squared. The answer is going to be x. Then x into negative 2x. The answer is going to be negative 2. Then close bracket. Let's come to this one. What is common in these two terms? It is 3, which is positive 3. So I'm just going to factor out positive 3 out. Then open bracket. 3 into positive 3 into positive 3x. The answer is going to be x. Then positive 3 into negative 6. The answer is going to be negative 2. So our m here, listen, here we don't have an equal sign. So don't equate everything to 0. We don't have an equal sign here. So our aim here is just to make these as linear. So now as you can see, these two are the same. So listen here. Always you need to start with this one because this one comes at the end. Always you need to start with this one. What I mean is when writing the linears, we start with this one. Or the linears that looks the same. So in this case here, the first one, it is x minus 2, then close. Then we also have this one, which is x plus 3. So x plus 3 should always come at the end. Or anything that you have here, you should put it at the end. So which means we have now the linears, which are the denominator for this question. So in other words, to replace this one with this one, we can, or let me just say, to replace this one, we can just put these. Okay? So now, since you know the linear factors, let me say, since you know the linear, yes, since you know the linear factors, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say 12x plus 11 all over x to the power 2 plus x minus 6. So now, how many linear factors do we have here? We only have 2 linear factors, which means I'm just going to say is equal to A over the first linear factor here, which is x minus 2, then plus b over the next linear factor, which is x plus 3. So let's do the substitution. So during our calculations, we expressed this quadratic in form of linear factors, which means these linear factors are equal to this quadratic. Therefore, the linear factors and the quadratic, they are going to cancel each other. Then here we are going to remain with 12x plus 11, then is equal to, then as usual, on this part here, the linear factors are going to multiply with a. Now, as you can see, here we are having x minus 2, and also here x minus 2, which means this one and this one, they are going to cancel each other. Therefore, we are going to remain with x plus 3 and also m. So, we are remaining with a multiplied by x plus 3, then close. Let's come to this one, which is b. So b is going to multiply with the linear factors. So these linear factors, we are going to find that x plus 3 and x plus 3, these, they are going to cancel each other. Then here we are going to remain with x minus 2 multiplied with b. So it's plus b, then open bracket, x minus 2, then close. Now, at this stage, we need to solve these linear factors as equations. So let's say we have x minus 2, then we are going to equate this one to 0, and also x plus 3, this one we are going to equate to 0 also. Okay. Now, when this negative 2 closes at an equal sign, it is going to be positive 2, which means the value of x here, it is positive 2. Then when this positive 3 closes an equal sign, it is going to be negative 3. So now, as you can see, this value here, which is negative 3, it is coming from which one? It is coming from b. Okay? So, likewise, I'm going to do the same, whereby when I write 12x plus 11, I'm going to equate to a, open bracket, x plus 3, and also 12x plus 11 is equal to b, open bracket, x minus 2, then close. Now, at this stage, I'm going to put this positive 2 where there is x in this equation. Okay? Our aim is to find the value of a. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put positive 2 where there is x. Since here we are having 12x, then plus 11 is equal to a, open bracket, 2 plus 3, then close bracket. So in this case here, 12 multiplied by 2, the answer is going to be 24, plus 11 is equal to 2 plus 3, the answer is going to be 5. 5 multiplied by a, the answer is going to be 5a. So this one, 24 plus 11, the answer is going to be 35, is equal to 5a. Now, since here we are finding a, which means here we are going to divide by 5, even here by 5, then the value of a is going to be, remember, this 5 here and this one here, they are going to cancel each other. Then here we are going to remain with A, that is this one. So 5 into 35, the answer is going to be 7. Okay, so the value of A here, it is 7. Let's find the value of B. Now, since we know that here we are having x is equal to negative 3, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write 12, and then open bracket, negative 3, then close bracket, plus 11 is equal to, so let me just do, so we are saying is equal to B, then open bracket, negative 3, okay, then minus 2, then close bracket. Right, so here I need to multiply. So I'm going to say 12 multiplied by negative 3. Then the answer is going to be negative 36. Okay? Then plus 11 is equal to, so here we are having B. So open bracket, negative 3 minus 2, the answer is going to be negative 5. So it is negative 5 multiplied by B, the answer is going to be negative 5B. Then from there now, negative 36 plus 11, the answer is going to be negative 25. Okay? Then is equal to, here we are having negative 5B. So since here we are looking for B, so I'm going to divide by negative 5, even here by negative 5. So negative 5 and negative 5, these two, they are going to cancel each other. Negative and negative, they are going to cancel each other. Here we are going to remain with B. So B is equal to 5 into 25. The answer is going to be 5. So which means the value of B here, it is 5. Now let's try to write our final answer. Now, since we know that the question was like this one, which is 12x plus 11 over x to the power 2 plus x minus 6 is equal to, so the value of A here, it is 7, which is positive 7, then over the linear factor. So let me just show you the linear factor. So this linear factor, it is for A, then this linear factor, it is for B. Okay, so it is 7 over x minus 2. Then as for B, the value of B it is positive, so which means I'm just going to put positive. Then 5 over the linear factor of B, it is x plus 3. So as you can see, this one here, it is our final answer. Now, as for question A, you can answer it and send it on my WhatsApp number, which is 0968014743, and you are feel free to ask questions.